Like most people, I have the requisite social media presence: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and, even though I'm definitely not in their target demographic, TikTok. In fact, if you Google my name, and please tell me I'm not the only person to do this, it's amazing how much comes up. In my case, over 500,000 results. Is this a good or a bad thing? Should I be worried about all the information I'm sharing with the internets and social media giants? And even if the answer to both of these is a resounding yes, will I be changing my behaviour anytime soon? Well, after a visit to the Vaudeville Theatre for the press night of Public Domain, I just might. Now, Public Domain is not a standard play or musical. For a start, there isn't a fixed narrative, no real story that starts at point A, has a high, followed by a low, and finally a good old send-off with jazz hands at point D. There is a bit of a story involving a 16-year-old boy called Z, who drops out of school to make YouTube his profession, and the influencer Millie, think Sporty Spice, health guru, millennial, and their experiences of a life based around social media. Along with this, there are also appearances by Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, his wife, Dr. Priscilla Chan, and some less than tech-savvy members of the United States Senate. All of these roles are played by the very talented duo Francesca Forrestal and Jordan Paul Clark, who together also wrote the book, lyrics, and orchestrations. Between the two of them, we go back to Facebook's origins, a simple platform that allows people from different places to get in touch and share things, to today, where it and its subsidiary companies are seen as a Big Brother type organization with fingers in every part of its users' lives. We also get a glimpse into the frankly horrendous lives of Facebook content moderators, along with a rather heartwarming moment as some very senior citizens discuss the use of their social media. Now, according to the program, which is free and downloadable via a QR reader, the show is taken verbatim from the words of vloggers, influencers, and Mr. Zuckerberg himself. This adds a kind of poignancy to the production as these desperate young people cry out to their viewers to like and subscribe, a phrase you hear everywhere these days. It also means that during the sequences when Mark is in front of the Senate, you realize just how out of their depth the majority of legislators are when dealing with the tech giants, which brings its own level of discomfort for the audience. Director Adam Lenton has moved the show to the West End in fine style, and Libby Todd's set is simple, but when combined with Matt Powell's amazing video graphics, feels the stage and really adds to the production, creating a perfect link between the performers and the digital world outside, particularly in some of the songs which include the YouTuber chorus. Francesca and Jordan are really engaging as performers and had a massively positive energy about them all the way through. The songs were, on the whole, really good, and I've been listening to the soundtrack on Spotify today. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if it was just where I was sitting, but there were times when the music partially drowned out the singing, which was slightly frustrating. Now, as someone who's recently become addicted to TikTok, I love the songs about the platform and its very strange and often inconsistent censorship rules. It also made me realize I had no idea who owns TikTok. Checked this morning, and it's a Chinese company called ByteDance. Another high spot was the all too brief appearance of Donald Trump and his relationship with Twitter, though given his recent history, I really thought this element could have been longer. Summing up then, Public Domain is fast, witty, and superbly produced. It engaged me from the start and left me really thinking about my own social media presence and the information I'm putting out there. Facebook in particular came in for a great deal of negative comments, but as one of the senators pointed out, if the platform is free for users, it has to make its money somehow. I know that my details are being shared with marketing people so they can show me ads as I scroll through my friends' updates, but I accept that as part of the contract between me and Mark that means I can sit in a room in London chatting to a mate in Perth, Western Australia for free. Finally, and believe me, I appreciate the irony, when this review is published, I will be sharing it across my social media channels, so don't forget to read it, then like and subscribe. And it's 4 stars from me.